Hello, everyone! The entertainment world has whispered about the names Katt Williams claims are the 7 most evil people in Hollywood. Individuals he says operate in the shadows of the industry, pulling strings, controlling careers, ending livelihoods, and shaping narratives in ways the public never sees. And tonight we're diving deep into Katt's explosive revelations, tracing the path from the moment he entered Hollywood as a young comedian with unmatched talent to the moment he broke free from the system and began exposing the hidden machinery he insists runs the town. Because according to Katt, the glitz of Hollywood hides a network of manipulators, decision-makers, gatekeepers, and spiritual opportunists who operate with one goal: control. And every time he speaks out, he claims the machine strikes back at him through arrests, false stories, blacklisting, and smear campaigns. So to understand the 7 figures he exposed, we have to first understand how Katt became a target. From the early 2000s, when he went from underground legend to mainstream superstar, appearing in films, selling out tours, and becoming one of the sharpest comedic voices in America. But behind the scenes, he says powerful figures tried to lure him into the Hollywood structure, demanding loyalty, silence, and compliance. And when he resisted, the attacks began. Sudden legal troubles, bizarre run-ins with police, ex-associates turning against him overnight, and media headlines that painted him as unstable. But Katt insists these events weren't random. They were coordinated by individuals he identifies as the core 7 forces of darkness in the industry. The first category he exposes are the corporate manipulators, studio heads, and network executives who hold the keys to Hollywood's biggest opportunities. And Katt claims some of them deliberately destroy careers to protect their own interests, replacing authentic artists with controllable ones, shaping culture in their image, and shutting down anyone who speaks too loudly. And though Katt rarely names these individuals directly, he often hints at powerful CEOs who use their influence to sabotage him after he refused to sign certain deals. And the second group he exposes are the talent handlers, the people who latch onto young stars, especially Black entertainers, grooming them, controlling their finances, manipulating their relationships, and steering their public image while draining them emotionally and financially. And Katt says these handlers function like psychological puppeteers, placing stars in situations where they become dependent on them, ensuring obedience through fear, scandal, or blackmail. And Katt's own experiences with these people left him deeply distrustful of Hollywood's inner workings. The third group he reveals are the media architects, the journalists, editors, and content gatekeepers who he insists use their platforms not to report truth, but to protect their allies and attack their enemies, pointing to how every time he exposed someone powerful, a new wave of negative stories appeared about him within days, painting him as violent, erratic, or dangerous. And Katt claims this was no coincidence but a coordinated effort to erase his credibility. The fourth group he identifies are the party circuit predators, the individuals who run Hollywood's exclusive private gatherings where stars are tested, where careers are made or broken overnight, where people are introduced to substances, temptations, and manipulations that bind them to the system. And Katt claims he was invited to these events repeatedly, but always refused, which he believes is one of the main reasons he was targeted, because the system cannot control someone who refuses to play. The fifth group he exposes are the financial orchestrators, the accountants, lawyers, and money managers with clean suits and dark intentions. The ones who Katt says quietly steal millions from entertainers, lock them into predatory deals, and then dispose of them when they become too aware or too vocal. And Katt has openly shared how he discovered accountant fraud, contract manipulation, and backroom schemes intended to drain his wealth without him noticing. The sixth group he exposes are the industry enforcers, the people who make problems go away, the ones who apply pressure on behalf of the elite, sometimes through intimidation, sudden legal situations, orchestrated arrests, or violent encounters that conveniently damage someone's reputation or silence them just long enough to regain control. And Katt believes several of his own arrests and altercations were directly engineered by people with connections in this category. And finally, the seventh and most dangerous group he exposes are the puppet masters. Influence, wealth, and global ties to make or destroy anyone in the industry. The ones Katt hints sit above the studios, above the awards shows, above the agencies, operating through relationships that cross politics, entertainment, business, and media. People who can create a star overnight or vanish one just as quickly. And Katt suggests these are the individuals who fear authenticity, fear independent voices, and fear anyone who can't be bought, which is why they view him as a threat. And if we trace Katt's career timeline, from his meteoric rise to his string of suspicious controversies, to his repeated warnings, to his disappearance from Hollywood circles, to his dramatic return in interviews calling out the system, it forms a chilling pattern. A pattern that aligns with his claims that the entertainment industry is governed not by art, but by power, leverage, and psychological control, a system that rewards silence and punishes truth-tellers. And Katt Williams, unlike many before him, refused to kneel, refused to be silent, and refused to sell his voice for safety. And whether you agree with his assessments or not, there's no denying that his career, his courage, and his unfiltered honesty have made him one of the most outspoken figures in entertainment. A man who has lost roles, money, relationships, and opportunities, but still stands firm in his conviction that exposing the truth is worth the cost. And as we unravel these 7 categories of alleged evil, we're left with a broader, more haunting question. Not who Katt Williams hates, but why the system he describes seems so eager to silence anyone who speaks out. And in that question lies the real mystery, the real danger, and the reason his warnings continue to echo through Hollywood like a siren. No one wants to hear, but everyone feels deep down. Thanks for watching.